ironing, like with the material and their perspective pictures. But the new thing was that I didn't knew the people, so I created a character I think I see there.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And then after you set them, you showed these works.
One time.
One time. You still have them?
Yeah, sure. I still love them, but yeah, I don't know.
How many are they of these portraits?
120.
120
Yeah,
portraits?
they're only big like this.
Oh, that's nice. Sounds nice.
Yeah, it's nice. No, I exhibited it twice. Long time ago. But I have them here in Berlin. I would like to, I don't know.
Yeah, you
like
should show them again, yeah.
Mm.
And from there, how did you do a performance after this? Or how do you work? Always photography for like a few months and then you go back to performance? Or you're always working side by side both?
Yeah, like I told you, I was reading, but I didn't know performance. I was just reading, and I was at that time a little bit bored about photography because I was very focused on photography for many, many, many years.
All right, then you were performing.
And I was like, one more picture. So I made a couple of series more, like with the musicians and with aprons. So like I collected also aprons, and I built up stories with people, like made stage installation, stage portrait, and then I was 2003. I became a little bit bored of photography,
So
and then I
started.
Focused more on, I don't know, video. Or
You tried video. You've done a bit of video.
Yeah. That's why I say I wouldn't call myself this or that, because I think if you work with art, use what you want. And I see that in the art world, many people are like even more like this than they should be. I mean, art should be totally free and open, I think.
Yeah, you got a point.
And people are not like that, actually. And the art world is also not like that.
No.
Not at all.
It's pretty tough.
I mean, it's tough everywhere, but I mean, if you're young, you believe, oh yeah, and there you can do what you want, and everybody wants to create. And
yeah, that's the hippie thing.
Bullshit.
Go back to India.
But the nice thing is, like, in every world, also in the art world, there are many worlds.
Yeah, that's true. This is another world, Tacheles.
You know, there are so many worlds, so
yeah,
you can find your people, and it's big enough, the world.
There's big enough. There's enough space for everyone.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so how do you define your world?
Somehow I think I'm in the real art world.
Everybody must be thinking that. So
no, I mean
upset.
it's not that to say like I'm a real artist or something, but when art is ending up in the museum, it's somehow dead. The museum is like a dead place. It's like the place where people say, this is bigger than you, what you see. And I don't like this idea. Like that art is bigger than a normal person. I believe that everybody can do art somehow. I mean, one can start with washing how somebody washed the dishes, or I don't know. You know, if you put it into the art context, then it's art, and if you put it in a house, then it's housework. You know what I mean? So, where's the difference? People make a difference because of this museums, and I mean, it's not that I don't like going to a museum, but it's like in this museum, people say, yeah, and in general, I can't understand that. I'm stupid. That's how people are normally going to art many times, and it's not. These people asking me, yeah, and then perhaps the artist even don't understand it by himself. I don't know, and it's not so important to understand it. But in a museum, they say, yeah, he used this red because of this and this and this, and it's like bullshit. I don't believe that at all. That an artist is using this because of this and this and this. He's using it because of experience and a feeling. That's my point of view. So a painter is perhaps focused on colors, and a photographer on topics, but it's because he's dealing or thinking about them and reading newspaper or talking to people, and then it's coming up in his work, but not, I don't know. my point of view.
Yeah.
Perhaps I'm totally wrong.
There's a language around this, what you're talking about, the way you have to express things. It's more like this thing about different worlds in art. It's just, for me, it's a way of expressing and saying and explaining things.
But if you ask me where I see myself, I think I'm doing art for people. That's perhaps my thing. For artists, it's perhaps not art, or for the art world, it's not art, and whatever. I don't know. I actually don't care so much.
So how do you survive then as an artist? How is the financial situation? Because that's always a tough one.
Many
for the artist.
Many small sources, and always a little bit beyond the surface. As usual. I mean, that's how it is to earn really money with it. I mean, it takes a long. I think it's like that. You have to go on and go on and go on, and in the end, you will see if you have also financial success or not.
Yeah.
I mean, if somebody's doing art and counting on a financial success, I think it's like playing lottery. It's, I think, in 99.8% not happening. So, but everybody believes it a little bit, like, perhaps one day.
Yeah. Well, of course.
But I can survive somehow with many small sources. In Berlin, I can survive.
Mm-hmm. You sell your pictures then? You do sell them? Or you
Not very often.
You do commissioned works for people sometimes?
I mean, I was working in the photography business for 12 years. So sometimes I get a photography job, but very seldom. Sometimes, no, actually I don't, but nobody wants my pictures. Yeah, for self-portraits it's very difficult to sell. Who's buying a self-portrait? I mean, if it's not then a museum or an institution,
your
know
mother.
What I mean? Huh?
Sell them to your mother.
Yeah.
She'll buy them.
But then I'm an asshole.
But I mean, I'm trying to find a solution here. I'm trying to help.
The solution is, I mean, you have to go on. You have to be, I don't know. You believe, sure, you go on, and
yeah, there's a part of faith, necessarily believing what you're doing.
You have to be a little bit ignorant.
Blind.
Yeah, because I mean, it's dividing. When you're 30, it's dividing. So I've seen very good photographers.
What do you call dividing? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, they did something else after that.
They give up.
I don't know if it's giving up. I mean, there are also a lot of 45 years old, very, how you say, frustrated artists. I think this is not necessary. If you work in art, you don't have to be frustrated. I mean, if you work in art and you're frustrated, that's stupid.
Yeah, well,
then it's better to do something else.
Yeah.
And I don't know. If it's giving up, it's like it's too much.
Well, I've always thought that people who stop and do something else and it wasn't really what they want, I mean, it's not their path, they can do other things. I mean,
I can also imagine myself stopping art one day. I don't know. I mean,
no, I can't.
I don't know. I think art or people who are working in art, they're like characters. They can find their art everywhere. So
yeah, but I mean, changing medium or like...
You can make a garden, or you can focus... I mean, art means that you focus on something very much. So you can focus on tomatoes as well, I think. If it works like for 30 years, I don't know. But I believe many artists could do it because it's like focusing on something.
I don't know. That's interesting. We can all grow tomatoes. You have this hippie thing.
No, I'm absolutely not a hippie. So, but I just say this can be also possible, I think. I don't know. That's what I say now. Perhaps if I try it, I say, oof. But in the end, many times you don't, or in photography it's like that, you don't have to do the picture somehow. Because you do it here. You see it and it's done. Then you make it, but for the others somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's with the painting. It's more a development. development, you don't know what's going on, and in the end you see.
Yeah, that's true. It's very different.
And photography is also like that, but it's much more concrete and much faster. So painting is slowly.
I looked a little bit on your website, and I saw you collaborated with some Finnish artists.
Yeah, I'm collaborating.
It was a filmmaker, a film director who actually filmed for you some performances.
No. It's a Finnish performance group.
Oh, it's a Finnish performance group.
Yeah, so we are working quite a lot, or we were working quite a lot together. Right now, don't know, last year we did a tour from Berlin to Rotterdam.
Yeah, it was called 7 for the price of 1.
Yeah.
I talk about Hannu is Finnish,
so we were like doing experimental economics by accumulating value. So
yeah, I saw it was quite interesting.
We did like 7 performances on the way, and every performance was new, sure, and was under one theme, and it was always to accumulate value in a different way. And accumulating value didn't mean that we collect money, it's just that we accumulate value, really. So we started with an empty space of a bottle of water, and in the end, in the 7th performance, we invested, and all the time when we got the money, so we invested it in a new thing and sold it in a different way somehow. And in the end, we invested, we had like 120 euro. We invested it in a performance artist we don't know. So we came from an empty space and a bottle of water to human capital. So this was quite big accumulation.
And what happened to this artist? Do you know? You invested in some artist you didn't know in the end? He didn't
but we invested in an artist we don't know, and she came with us to Rotterdam.
Oh, right, okay.
And then she was our star, so we sold her somehow, her performance.
Okay.
I mean, also the whole tour was like this thing selling performance. It's very difficult. So about this topic as well, a little bit. It was always second line coming with us. Like, how is it to sell performance?
As a main media, because often there's a performance.
We were not talking about it, but it was always there somehow.
And was this these performances? They have text. They're silent. They're with music. How do you construct? Because I only saw obviously pictures. How do you build them?
We talk a lot, and then we make a performance.
You still write poems and texts a lot, or
no, not very.
Not
often.
so much.
No. Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Not very often.
And how is it when you're working with a group of Finnish? Obviously, you work in English.
Yeah.
And you meet a long time, because it seemed to be quite a big project. There's 7 performances going from Berlin to Rotterdam.
Yeah, I mean, I
saw there were lots of, you got lots of financing and help, and so
this was a big project for in case of organization. And we had a theme, and then we really worked on a performance. We had always 3 days in between, and this was the days when we worked on the performance.
Okay, so in fact, when you left, you did one performance, then another, and you prepared them always in 3 days, and you didn't know which one was the next one after. They weren't set before. We
were just working for 3 weeks, like hell, always together.
Okay. And you actually got a video out of this, the whole thing that can be viewed?
Little video. We made a.
There's a trailer.
We made a catalog.
Oh, you made a catalog.
Yeah. A really good one, so from a museum. And that's very funny, because that's also possible. You start with an idea, like, let's make a tour. And then we really searched sponsors, so we had sponsors here.
Yeah.
Everywhere. And it really worked. I mean, and in the end, we made a really fancy catalog. It was by a museum, you know what I mean? So it's like...
Wow.
So it's possible.